Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Kanwal Sidhu. Today we are going to discuss the topic that is commercial banks. In this lecture session we will discuss the various types of commercial banks. We will also discuss the functions of commercial banks and what is the role played by the commercial bank in development of Indian economy. So for easy, simple and precise lecture sessions, do like, share and subscribe my channel Kanwal Sidhu. We can say that commercial bank is an establishment that accepts deposits from people and also lends money when required. So we can say that commercial bank work as an intermediary between the depositors and the borrowers. They earn money from various facilities which they provide to their customers. Then commercial banks also offer various types of products and services to the retail as well as the corporate customers. We can say that these commercial banks are the profit making institutions and they do business only to make profit. The commercial banks can be mainly divided into three main types. The first are the public sector banks, where the major part of its share is held by the government. Then is the private sector banks, which are owned by the individuals or the private business organizations. The third are the foreign banks that operates in other countries, or we can say the banks which are operating in more than one country. The RBI, which is known as the central bank, supervises and regulates the commercial banks. The central bank set their interest rates and controls flow of money in these commercial banks. The functions of commercial banks can be divided into primary and secondary functions. Let's first discuss the primary functions. The commercial banks accept deposits from the customers. The customers can have saving deposit, fixed deposit and current deposit accounts in commercial banks. In a savings account, the customers has limited transactions, whereas there is no such limit in case of current accounts. Customers get interest on amount deposited in savings account, whereas no such interest is paid in case of current account. The fixed deposits have a pre-fixed lock-in period. The customers can only withdraw the amount once the lock-in period is over, and the banks pay interest for that lock-in period to the customers. The commercial banks also provide loans to the individuals as well as to the business organizations. Various kinds of short-term and long-term loans are provided by the commercial banks. Then another important primary function of commercial banks is credit creation. Whenever a loan credit is provided to the customer, an account is opened in name of that customers and amount is transferred to that account. No liquid cash is given to the customers. So these are the main primary functions of commercial banks. Next comes the secondary functions. The most important secondary function is the discounting bills of exchange, which is a written agreement acknowledging the amount of money to be paid against the goods purchased at a given point of time in the future. The commercial banks also offer overdraft facilities to their customers. In this case, an advance is given to the certain customers by keeping the current account to overdraw up to a given limit. The customers can also buy and sell securities through commercial banks. The commercial banks also provide locker facilities to their customers. Certain minimum annual fee is charged for providing this service. Then P notes, checks, bills of exchange can be used for paying and gathering of credit in commercial banks. Then commercial banks also provide foreign exchange facilities to their customers. Apart from these secondary functions, the commercial banks also guide their customers in selecting best suitable investment projects. So these are the secondary functions which are provided by the commercial banks to their customers. Now let's discuss how these commercial banks play an important role in economic development. The commercial banks play a significant role in developing countries' industry and trade. These banks also assist in capital formation, which is essential for economic growth of the nation. As these banks act as intermediaries between the borrowers and the investors, so this helps in mobilization of funds. The mobilization of funds contributes towards economic development. The provision of providing loans enables industrial growth, improves productivity, and creates employment opportunities. Then, apart from providing financial support, the commercial banks also provide technical and managerial guidance to the young entrepreneurs who want to start new business. So we can conclude that growth of commercial banks is very important for the economic growth of the nation. The biggest challenge faced by commercial banks in India is the rise of bad loans or NPAs, that is non-performing assets. These type of loans are not repaid back by the borrowers. As a result, the commercial banks has to bear the losses. Another major challenge is capital adequacy. By this process, the banks ensure that it is protected from any kind of losses by setting aside some money. This money cannot be used for any other purpose. This lowers the lending ability or lending limit of the bank. The capital adequacy ratio measures how much capital a bank has. Then the entry of foreign banks in India are also posing a major threat to the Indian commercial banks. The competition has increased among the commercial banks. The technical changes, employment, recruitment, and training are also major challenges which are faced by commercial banks nowadays. The expectations of customers are also rising. The customers nowadays expect a high degree of personalized service. As a result, the commercial banks also face a major challenge to retain its existing customers. Then, due to digitalization, the data leakage and theft has also risen. Providing adequate data security is also a major challenge for the commercial banks. As the commercial banks are considered as the backbone of Indian economy, so it is very important that government should take measures to help the commercial banks to overcome these major challenges. These are the public, private, and foreign sector banks that are operating in India. So this was all in today's lecture session, and these are some of the important questions from your exam point of view. You can email me for any kind of doubts or queries. My email is given below. So do like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.